What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
it's another day at the office, I get to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones. Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
And all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support. Hav, we're doing it again,
That's
man.
right, that's
we're
right.
back to this reunion.
Here we are, Mike.
It's the third annual Jav and Mercado reunion live in our friends' beautiful house.
Really cool.
Yeah.
In my old neighborhood.
Yeah, we're in Elk Grove.
Right, good old Elk Grove Village, man, right by Charing Cross.
Yeah, we're not doing this in a studio. This is a if there's a howl noise, I'm gonna try to fix it for anybody listening to it. But really fast, let's get all the plugins. You can find us on Facebook, like us at Mercado Airwaves. You guys are at.
I believe it's Dreamtune Studios, and I know that's my Instagram, Dreamtune Studio, as well as our YouTube channel. And as far as our Facebook, Transplants, Life of an LA Screenwriter, as well as the Jav Dreamtune Studios.
We're also on iTunes, guys. Please find us, Mercado Airwaves. Do us a favor. It means a lot. Go like, review, rate us, comment. All the traffic we get really helps us out. And then anybody who wants to get these ad-free and before anybody else, this cool interview that we're doing, a very special occasion type of thing, visit us on Patreon, patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. There you can find out how you can get every episode ad-free before anybody else and how you can power every one of these interviews. Summertime is right around the corner. We finished up a couple of awesome movies.
Yeah.
Last time we were talking, we were doing the Ninja Turtles
dude.
preview, and then the movie came out.
That was fun, man.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny because we were kind of doing that for different, we were doing that to talk about, but we were also doing it for the Radio Days project.
Yeah,
that was fun.
I
loved it. I loved it because it was the third film, quote unquote, in the Radio Days series, and I needed to just do something extra special because I didn't want to just host it, and just having you guest host it, even if it was quote unquote staged, it was still a fun thing to do, especially because we had the different voice actors and the one guy who played Dante from Grandma's Boy. Yeah. I think that was funny. I'm kind of thinking back because I haven't heard that album in a while. I've just been so focused on the latest and greatest projects. I just kind of just move on.
So let's get into it. I mean, everybody who's been following us knows that you made the move to La La Land, and you're doing your thing. Let's get the brown nosing out of the way, man. You've been kicking ass, and all of us are proud here. So, what are some of the projects that you've been working on before we get into the passion projects and the stuff that really?
I've been a part of some amazing TV shows. It was funny when I was first on a little show called This Is Us. I didn't think it was going to do too good because
a little show. It's
funny. It's funny as it sounds. Like I was on one of the first days of shooting, and it's not like I was a principal actor. I'm just working out from the bottom, but still, one of my first days on the set, it was really kind of hodgepodge. I felt like it was just like there was just so much chaos and everything, and I had no idea who was on the show and that it was going to be such a big deal. All I knew is that it was just like the first 3 or 4 hours, nobody knew what was happening. They didn't really know. Nobody knew where we were supposed to go as a group, because. Yeah, long story short, as that show kept getting bigger and bigger, and people back home, when I was in Chicago, saying that, oh my God, this show is so gripping and everything, it really did hit me that, this is actually one of the best shows that have come out of LA, I feel like, and it is. This Is Us is really put together nice, and even someone like Mandy Moore, I talked to her on set before I even really knew it was her. There was a moment when I was just like, wow, this show is just... to just see it from the initial recordings to now on TV, and when it's they got leagues of following, I'm really happy for it.
Yeah, and is it when you're in a project like that, us being in media, we've been doing this thing forever now in our own little venues. So when you get to that type of level and you see that type of something that you worked on, get that type of success? Is it a jolt of energy? Like,
absolutely. Well, absolutely. I mean, I've only been in a couple little fragments of it, but to just like see the crew and to see the filmmakers and the actors, and to then know that the finished product is being received, because I've been on a lot of shows that don't even make it past the pilot season. I've been in a lot of promising shows with some fun stuff, and it never even made it to syndication. And then there's stuff that you're on, and they're quote-unquote shows that are actually going, and then all of a sudden it gets canceled, and it never really comes to fruition. So it's really cool when I can see a show, because I know how much hard work that the filmmakers and the cinematographers and the ADs are going through. I mean, whether you're an extra or whether you're a principal or whether you're, the writer, everyone does work together and everything. And, like, just getting into the business from the bottom, even though it's, doing, whether it's background work, extra work, or sometimes you've been featured enough to not really be in the background. You're kind of like up in the forefront. You're not saying lines, but yeah, sometimes you never know where you're going to end up,
Was it, the journey of leaving from little old Elk Grove Village to Los Angeles, what's the feeling like? What are there days where it seems almost daunting, or are there days where it seems exhilarating, like going out and really going after it?
It was the scariest thing I've ever done. The road trip from Elk Grove to California was life-changing, and there's no understatement to that, because the first night, I think we made it to, I believe it was Kentucky or Nebraska. I'm pretty sure it was Nebraska. The first night we made it, and I was petrified scared. I remember I called my friends, I called my mom, and I just thought about everyone when they said goodbye, and I'm just like, I'm not coming back for a while, because I came out here to move. It wasn't like I was planning on coming back in a week or two. This was like I'm moving my life, and I just had to just breathe. I just couldn't. The first night, I just shocked myself to sleep. I couldn't. I wasn't thinking right. I woke up early in the morning, and we just hit the road. And we made it to Las Vegas that second day. Wow. And I think getting to Las Vegas helped me a little bit, because I had a friend of the family there.
Okay.
Lynette. Yeah, Lynette, one of the greatest people ever. And she let me stay at her place with her daughter. And just so awesome, because I had to rest my spine. I have a curved spine, and sitting in the car for that long, it really did hurt. I was with my buddy Andre, who my aunt essentially made drive with me, because I didn't really have a passenger. So she essentially gave him a little bit of time off. She was her boss, and she was his boss, and she just essentially gave him the time off, and he was able to come out with his camera equipment, and we videotaped some of the stuff. And it was a life-changing road trip. I was emotional wreck. Even getting to Vegas, I wasn't there yet. And then the next day after I rested in Vegas, I finally made it to Cali, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I was still petrified. I was playing it safe, trying to go to school. I didn't think I was going to be working in Hollywood. I didn't think I was going to be really trying to make it, with my video business and my, web series. It just turned into just, here I am. I came out here for a reason, so let's just get off to go to the races. So.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
It's another day at the operator to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones. Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
And all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support. Yeah. When you make an adventure like that, though, on a move, how much inspiration is going through your mind when you're in those lonely hours between Nebraska and Kentucky to Las Vegas? How many times do you come up with a episode for of the web series? Or
well, it's funny because at the time I didn't even have the web series. My current Transplants wasn't even a thought. That literally all happened right in front of my eyes as I moved out there. At the time, I had the Wise Guys, which was the Three Stooges, Marx Brothers inspiration, and it was a different breed of comedy. It was more slapstick, eye pokes and hits and everything. And I wasn't too into that because the movie wasn't even made yet. I just knew that I wanted to just find a new family of people to work with, whether it was musicians, whether it was filmmakers, or whether it was actors or people to just mesh with. I was just looking for a new family and that hookup, man, that can get me in a studio, because even my passenger said, what's your first plan? Whether it's delivering coffee or whether it's delivering, the daily, call sheets, just getting on set is anything, just to open your eyes and ears and see people. So I was ready for anything. And when it came down to finding the right person who told me about extra work and background work, I thought it was too good to be true.
Right. Now, when we're sitting here now, shout out to Lewis and Kelsey in their house, and as he's eating his hot dog right now,
Louis!
Barbecue.
Friends for life.
Yeah. Do you ever? What do you think is the end goal? For me, it always comes down to being able to build a brand that lives on its own after I'm done. For you, what's the?
Oh yeah, I would say that's the exact same thing. I mean, because Dream Tune Studios, it's not just music, and it's not just. I was just about to say it's not just noise. The name of my first band. It's not just music, and it's not just visual. It's really this. It's really essentially my brand. Because whether it's stories, comic books, action figures, T-shirts, merchandise, of course films, of course musical albums, that's pretty much the end goal. Because I just love the characters I create, whether it's in a story, whether it's a physical character, whether it's a cartoon, whether it's a musical character, whether it's just a music, whether it's a song. I treat everything as a character. And there's always a story that's happening. So what is the song doing? Is it serving a musical purpose? Is it telling a story? Is it for a scene? And I treat the same way with my films. It's very funny how music and films have crossed the streams, quote unquote, with my art. And the end result is to just have that legacy. And already I've done nothing but achieve that. Exactly. It starts with the Jav albums, the classic 2007.
Which actually, you can if you go back to the Oreo Galaxy, all those. We have bunch of those in past episodes, interviews that we've done.
The Oreo. The Oreo Galaxy alone. That's just one of my. And I don't look at it as strictly a music album compared to my new visual stuff, which is visual movies. I treat it like a movie on its own because it is. If you want to sit down and for an hour, we can talk about the story of the Oreo Galaxy, Shazbab Savoir Faire. That's a whole different story. And the coolest thing is that my music albums have continued, even though I'm doing movies and web series and TV stuff. I still have continued my albums. I released Hollywood Aristocracy, and when I was out in LA, that was my next masterpiece. That has characters that have appeared in the Circus Daydream, Oreo Galaxy realm, that I just continued the music. And the story of Hollywood Aristocracy was this accordion player from Oshkosh, Nebraska, which of course I was inspired from my stop in Nebraska. He just quits his job, and he was working at a grocery store. I was able to put my life working at Jewel Osco for 7 years into the story. He quits his job. He tells the manager to F off, and he goes west. And it's kind of like a Wizard of Oz story where he picks up his heartthrob actor friend who wants to find his girl, and he wants to go to Hollywood too. And then along the way, they pick up a crazy guitarist in Las Vegas named Carl Galactic Ecstatic, who loves Belgian waffles, and he's a nutcase. And it's kind of like a Wizard of Oz thing, where now they're all together, and they're on this journey together, and they get to the Emerald City, quote unquote, Hollywood, and they want to make it as a, they want to have their talents come to life, and that's where the story starts. And it's a really eye-opening adventure story that has heartbreaking moments based on my personal experience and the general experience of going out to LA. That's Hollywood Aristocracy. That was pretty much not the follow-up to the Oreo Galaxy, but it's long after the events of that.
What I find the most interesting, and I think you really get this. We've talked about this before on past reunion shows. Is we put a lot of passion and a lot of ideas and a lot of time into these projects, and sometimes it's funny though, because I mentioned this yesterday to my brother. It's like, nobody gets into radio, for example, to be a millionaire. Right. It's like, it doesn't happen. It's like, and chances are it's like, you're going to hit a certain level, but it's like the love and passion is what drives it, and being part of the work. And it's one of those weird things where you almost have to accept the inevitable future of not 99% of people don't hit that level of Casey Kasem or Martin Scorsese.
Right.
It's
you're right.
You don't hit those levels, but you put out the best work you can, and sometimes that work sometimes it's unappreciated too. I think sometimes that's one of the biggest things is anybody who works in any type of art media is like, hey, you're going to be your harshest critic, so it doesn't matter how often somebody says your work is great. You're going to go back there and you're going to try to go into it. And I've almost come to the realization it's helped me not feel like a piece of shit, that it's okay if you don't end up being the greatest ever if you're not on the Mount Rushmore. You got to make your own impact, your own footprint, one way or the other.
You're absolutely right.
Well, really fast, we're here. Mike Mercado, Mercado Airwaves. The Jav is here doing his thing. It's the Mercado and Jav special. We're here at Kelsey and Lewis' house, the Casa de Perchance Rodriguez. Lewis is right here.
Hello, everybody.
Checking in. The ladies are outside. Nicole, Kelsey, and the little man Carmelo. So it's a whole friend family thing that we're enjoying. So when you make this move to Cali, though, are you afraid that of coming back without some form of personal success, that you feel like you have to succeed because you're making this move and you know there's a lot of people looking at you for it?
Not necessarily at all, because I think just the fact that I've was able to land on my feet and essentially stay afloat, because there's a lot of people who get out there and they don't know what to do and they don't do anything, and that's, I would love to say, there's a lot of people, I feel like there's people who didn't believe in me, who were kind of hoping that I was going to come back with my tail between my legs, because I'm not lying. It's not like I'm trying to tell everyone I'm happy when I'm miserable out there and I'm just wasting all my money. It's opposite. I'm making more money than I was making here. I'm more at ease. I feel more there's a purpose being served.
Is that weird? Is that weird?
It's weird. Well, it sucks because there's a lot of people who go, "What? You didn't even like us back here in Chicago?" And that's not the case at all. It's just there was a moment in Chicago where I feel like I wasn't able to spread my wings and fly, and it had nothing to do with my friends or my family. It was simply the fact of just the location, and I don't know, reading Walt Disney's biography, and going out to Cali for a 6-day vacation. When I flew out there, I just knew that if I was to just think outside the box, thank you, Lewis. If I was to just think outside the box and just spread my wings, there might be some good stuff on the other side. And I had a lot of music to help me out, and one of the biggest bands, artists, and groups to really help me through that time was Genesis, Phil Collins. And it was bizarre because there was a lot of songs on both of their sides, whether it was his solo stuff or as a group, that really did inspire me. Like, there were literal lines in the lyrics that I feel like were spoken directly to me. And I remember my first goal was to go to Cal Arts. I was too scared to find friends out there. I was too scared to find work. All I wanted to do was just go to school. If I can just get into Cal Arts, I don't need to think. All I have to do is just go to school. And man, how that would have changed my life had I gotten into it. But I persisted. I didn't get into Cal Arts. I got that heartbreaking email saying that we're sorry, we got your portfolio. After all the money I put in, after the writing the portfolio and the resume and all that stuff, they still didn't want me. They were looking for a different type of artist, and I accepted it. And I still said, I'm not giving up on California. This can't be my only option. So I plan on going to a community college, and that saved me once someone at Harper told me I can transfer my credits and go to this one school that just so happened to be right down the street from my aunt's house in California. So it was a natural, that's where I'm going.
Sometimes things just fall into place like they align
themselves. And as funny as it sounds, that wasn't even the path I was supposed to be on, but that was my first landing pad in Cali. So I did that. I didn't think about anything else. I started going to school, and then all of a sudden my life started changing because I started networking. It's funny, my first paid paycheck that I got in Cali was for a commercial I made in the music I made in the commercial, and that was worth more than any check I ever got for forklifts, any check I ever got for dishwashing, any check I ever got for stocking shelves. The fact that I got paid, in a business to make a commercial for a realtor or a network advisor or a business person really made me happy, because I went out there with a set of skills and I was able to find work doing it. Yeah. And that still wasn't the path. I just kept, just networking.
Everything starts from somewhere, man.
It's amazing. How
many, people start off on commercials all the time. People start off on music videos. Michael Bay did it. Like Zack Snyder did it. It's like, it's one of those. It's one of those things too, where it's like, I think we've been blessed and cursed with young age. 27 years old is still young. It feels old sometimes because the grind is long and it's a pain. But 27, you know how many people would give their life to be back to being at 27 years old and at this type of level?
Well, and also, I mean, I'm literally a baby in the business because I don't look like I'm 27. You know?
Yeah, so that helps a lot. Yeah.
It's really, really funny when, especially when I have actors twice my age looking at me going, okay, Adam, what are we going to do next? You know, you lead the way. It's really inspiring because it's like, holy crap, you know, they're not ashamed that they're following. They're like proud of the fact that they've got a 27-year-old that they're kind of looking up to, even though they're twice the age. It's because there's a lot of people out there who just want to be a part of a fun project. You know, the people who do it for the art and not the money. Just like you were saying, if you just do it for the money, you're not going to get far, especially if you're just starting out. But if you go out there and you just want to be in the coolest projects you can be in, guess what? You're going to be fulfilled really easily because there's so much awesome stuff going on out there.
And it's a lifestyle type of thing too. It's like you got to be accustomed to certain things. You got to be willing to sacrifice certain things. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to be willing to sit in traffic for an hour and a half sometimes when you're out there. You know,
oh man,
you got to have you got to be able to pay a lot for a little place. Like there's a lot of sacrifice that going out there. But
you better believe it.
Here's the truth. Like even though it is a small world, there are certain things you still got to go out there for. There's still certain things you got to go to New York for. Like it is the world we live in. At least when you're trying to start off. Like when you have a little clout, you could do something from your home base in Chicago, IL. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that when you're first starting off that you get the privilege of saying, okay, I want to work these hours. I need red M&Ms only, and you know, like it don't work that way.
Yeah, that would be something, but no, it doesn't.
No, and yeah, that would be nice. You can follow Adam at Dream Tune Studios on Instagram. You can see all the cool stuff they're working on Facebook at Dream Tune Studios. We're at Mercado Airwaves. Like us on Facebook. Please do us a favor. If you're listening to this on YouTube or any of the podcast addict or anything like that, go to iTunes right now. Subscribe to us. All the new episodes will go right into your desktop, right into your main screen, and you will hear this awesome interview and anything that we're working on Mercado Airwaves. So we've done a lot of Q&A, man. Let's do some fun stuff. How about we take a quick break? We're already 20 minutes into the third annual reunion. We'll take a quick break. We're gonna get into it and maybe get some other people involved, and we'll talk movies, life. We'll talk some fun stuff. We'll talk about your trip coming back.
Let's do it, man.
We'll be back on Mercado Airwaves with the Hub.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
another day at the operator to go out there and test my skill,
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones. Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
And all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support.
Alright, so we are back. You can follow us on Facebook, like me at Mercado Airwaves. You're at Dream Tune Studios. It's the Jav Mercado reunion show. Jav's over there. So we left the break. We said we're going to get everybody involved. So we're going to go in a room like we did in kindergarten and introduce everybody. That's how we do things in radio because they can't see us because we don't have the money yet to have cameras and stuff.
That's right.
To my left is the very pregnant Kelsey Bertanch, who's house friend right now. Kelsey, say hello to people.
Hello, everyone.
That's Kelsey's voice. To my right is the very lovely, my special lady, Nicole Mancha.
Hi, everyone.
Behind me is the other person in this house, the very pregnant also, Luis Rodriguez.
Oh, yes, hello.
Also here is Carmelo, the little man of the house.
Hello.
Say it a little louder so they can hear you. Say hello.
Hello.
How's your day?
Good.
You ready for your summer vacation?
Yes.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna play outside.
Yeah?
At the park.
Are you excited to have a yard?
Yes.
Is this the first time you've had a yard of your own?
Yes.
Yeah?
Are you excited that you have the park right next to your yard?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I also heard that you barbecued for us. Is that true?
Yes.
What'd you make us?
Hot dogs.
Yeah. What'd you do? How'd you make them?
Vienna beef.
Yeah. Did you put a little special paprika? Paprika. Is that how you say it?
Paprika.
Paprika. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So that bit fell flat. We can go ahead and move on. So thank you, Carmel. You ready to do some podcasting?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So we were doing a lot of talking before we hit the break about your stuff in LA, but I think it's kind of cool. We're here at Lewis and Kelsey's house, and
Absolutely,
we're in Elk
man.
Grove.
Dude,
It's crazy,
like
right?
stomping.
The Grove. We're back into
Uh-huh.
literally. I'm staring outside right now, and
We're
Lewis and
walking.
Kelsey's house is the park that
We grew up
Kelsey lost. Spilled. What was it, Lewis? A 40.
She broke a 40.
So yeah, so this is
Story.
yeah. So what happened was we were underage. I'm not gonna give the exact age we were. It was probably like 19 or something. And
No kids having fun.
yeah, just kids having fun, whatever. And there's a park that we can literally see from their kitchen that we're recording this, and we're all excited. We're badasses, guys. We have two 40-ounce Cobras, so you know we're getting
And
it
then
big, guys. Yeah, we're doing
Good
it
days,
big.
man.
And sure enough, we're walking into the park, and as if irony was following behind Kelsey, all we hear is, and like there's no real reaction from nobody. Everybody just kind of looks at her, and Kelsey has this look on her face like, I've never seen her so disappointed in my life. Like, I'm sure she's failed tests in her life. I'm sure she's, something horrible, told a secret from a best friend. Nothing was. Kelsey, what was going on in your mind? Did you realize that you had fucked up?
Oh yeah, right away. Of course. We're
like-
all looking forward to that 40
And we were kids. So it's not like we could just, right now, it's like, oh, that was an awesome beer. Let's go get some more. No, that was it. I think we stole it. I don't think we bought it.
No,
How did we
pretty
used to
much.
get the liquor? Because we used to go to...
We either took it or we paid someone to buy it for us. One of those.
What was that?
The usual.
Well, there was
Right.
the liquor store on, was it Tui or Tani?
It's tiny.
And no, Lively.
Oh, lively liquors.
Who used to? It was Martin's brother.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a friend's older brother. So you know what? Let's go back to the typical suburban life. One of our friends' older brother used to buy us our beer.
Yes.
Do you remember I'm not gonna give up Martin and
No.
Martin.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Remind me, 4 minutes, 6 seconds into this, I have to bleep out his last name because I don't know if I have if I can say his last name.
Yeah.
So I gotta bleep that out.
Yeah.
Live editing though, because I'm not gonna edit this part out. Only his last name, because I'm like everybody listening to him wonder who the hell it really was.
Yes.
So, well,
Yeah, he messed up, didn't he?
you think so many kids have so many different opportunities and stuff, and so many of them make these really bad decisions, and you're like, what drove you to do that? Like, looking back at it at 27 now, compared to, I really didn't understand the opportunities that are afforded to you and things like that, but can you imagine how bad you have to perceive things to mess up that hard?
Yeah, very bad.
Like,
Yeah.
do you think it's something about income or, accessibility?
No, I think it's in just because the people who always ask, what's life about, man? There's no point to it. They haven't found the purpose in life, so they just search for it, and usually searching for it is just getting messed up. I mean, if you know what your purpose is in life, or you know what you're doing, whether you're working hard for your family or the one you love, or you're following your dream, you're focused on something that's really overall positive, where if you don't have anything going, it's like if you're miserable and you want to, shit on other people's luck, or if you want to talk smack, or you hate, seeing people happy, then yeah, you're going to end up usually rebelling, whether it's stealing, whether it's doing drugs, whether it's selling, whether it's, you name it. There's this rebellion that just comes from not liking either yourself or your situation or others people.
Where does that come from? How much of that is, inside your head? How much of that is an actual disorder? How much of that is
I'm not sure.
boredom? I can't tell you what's the difference between all of us. I tend to think we were all afforded different opportunities, but for the most part, we're all part of the same demographic. So with that in mind,
what's the thin line? Like, why is it so thin? Like, is it really come down to passion too? Like, I think there's something to say when you wake up every day for what you have to do and you don't hate it. Like, the amount of many people wake up and they hate what they do, and then you go to work hating it, or you go to school hating it, and then your day. Imagine doing that 5 times a week. It's like 8 hours a day. Like that's 40 hours of your life being miserable on top of any of the extra stuff that's happening.
And that's usually going to lead to an escape, because that's a lot of time when you're obviously not happy. So then you're going to do something, whether it's an escape with a drug or an escape with a rush. I mean, I don't know. I guess, yeah, if you're usually miserable, it tends to build up for some intense release, you know?
Now, speaking of like good things though, Lewis and Kelsey here, they just moved into the house we're recording right now. Again, you can catch us everywhere in the universe. We're on YouTube. So subscribe to us, Mike Mercado 2333. iTunes, like, subscribe, rate us, guys. It helps us a lot. Mercado Airwaves. Lewis and Kelsey, now that you guys have bought the house, is it kind of crazy though? Like, do you remember some of the conversations that we've had 2, 3, 4 years ago about how like we thought we had the answers to everything? We thought we knew everything, and like sitting where we're at now, recording this on May 30th, 2017, like, is it almost a trip?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what do you think is the biggest difference? Like, if May 30th from 2015 to 2017, like, beyond a mortgage, like, what do you guys think has changed your perception? Or has your perception changed in life in general?
It's pretty much having a house that we have to pay for, mortgage, just taxes, a lot of bills.
But
hey, that's adult life.
Bills. It's making me look further into the future.
But you ever think we're going to be like that, though? But, like, do you guys remember, like, we had, like, obviously the pipe dream back in the day was always like, oh, we want to live here, and we want to do this, and we want to do that. But, like, at what point do you think it changed from, like, that's nice, but we kind of want to live this life now? Like, do you think there was ever a time where it went from you thought you were going to live this type of life and it ended up becoming this type of life? Like, I think a lot of people our age, a lot of men and women our age struggle with that moment of, oh, this is where I'm at right now. This is where it turned. This is, for better, for worse, for amazing, whatever the case may be. I mean, especially, knowing we all know each other so well, like knowing you guys, like, do you remember a moment where it went from, this is the lifestyle we were going to live, to, no, I think we're going to go this way?
No, it's unpredictable, really,
Yeah,
Never
it was last year that we were looking for houses up in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
We were just going to move, leave family. It would just be us on our own, and now we're going to be raising our family in the community that we grew up in.
Back to the old stomping grounds, where we grew up. And
do you guys feel more, see, and this is where people who, if they knew us back in the day, like, or 15 years now, it's one of those things where, do you think you guys would have ever been at this point where it's like, oh my God, we're raising a family in Elk Grove?
No.
Nope.
And Elk Grove is beautiful, but would you ever think, like, at 27 we would be like,
exceptional community?
But it really, but at 27 we get that. We're like, oh,
right,
okay,
yeah.
I get what you
it
mean.
Really is.
Yeah.
I really wish, like,
check it up, Wikipedia.
yeah, right. Yeah, but I really wish it's one of those things where you understand when adults used to tell us at the age of 16, it's like, oh, I've lived through it, I've done this. It's like, man, what is it? What's the old saying? Youth is wasted on the young. It's like, it's so true. It's like, can you imagine the wisdom that we're gonna have at the age of 60? God willing, we make it that far. Like, how you wish you'd go back and be 40 at that age, or
Definitely
30 at that age.
Yeah, I wish it was, it's like 15 or, 16,
go back to high school and actually study.
Actually,
Yeah,
definitely.
actually study in high school.
Yeah.
Try to go to a good school.
Yeah. You get out of school so fast, you actually work, and then now that you start working, it's like, man. And then you got bills. And then the house and family and
never stops.
Wherever it goes,
Bills.
Yeah, I think that's the key though. That right there is where the magic is finding the balance in doing all that, because that's where people succeed. The real test in life is that right there. It's like, how do you manage going to work, paying your bills, staying healthy, having a healthy relationship with your partner, having a healthy relationship with your kids and your family, and still succeeding as much as you can. I mean, there is sacrifice. You're gonna have to sacrifice certain things for certain achievements, but
yeah,
I mean, that's the key, right? Like, you don't have to be a millionaire to live the richest of life. You don't. But there's people who actually believe that.
No, those people are disillusioned.
Yeah.
So but where does that illusion come from?
It's all money.
But where though? Well, that money doesn't exist. How many people dream of being millionaires? It's but where do you get that aspiration from? Is it from television, thinking that anybody can be a millionaire? It's yeah, in theory, anybody can be a millionaire. But if that was the case, how come we're not sitting here like Scrooge McDuck? We're not. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that. So I'm.
So many coins.
Why though? Where do people get off thinking I shouldn't say getting off, and I get people are financially. Motivated.
It's all up and down, depending on the situation, really. Some people, just have the luck in it. It comes down to giving the money, so boom, boom,
A lot of it is right place, right time.
Yeah.
How many people, it's a door opportunity. Not everybody, there's people who do it their whole life and don't, quote unquote, make it, whatever field they're trying to do. There's people who've been trying to be cops for 15 years.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
It's another day at the office. I get to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones. Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
And all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support.
They can't do it. It's a weird.
Right.
It's weird, man.
But it's all up to them whatever making it is or not.
That's the definition of it, but that's the problem. It's perspective. We were talking about that during the break. It's what's the perspective of how you see? My boss at the radio station, he asked me, he's like, "Is there anybody's life that you would want to trade yours for?" And my answer was really easy. It's no. It's I can appreciate what others have. I can respect it. I can envy some things. But my life is my life. You can't. I don't even know how to say it. You can't try to you can't try to be Steven Spielberg.
Oh yeah.
And think you're going to be him. No, you got to be your own person. You got to do your own thing. You got to
be you,
and be the best at what you do.
That's
that's always the key to me. How much happier do you think you'll be at work if you're actually trying? You care about it.
Exactly.
That makes a huge difference. Caring makes a huge difference. Imagine.
Exactly.
Why do you think so many people struggle at high school? Oh shit! I gotta take geometry today. We're 27, all of us here. When's the last time you used geometry in your life?
Right.
High school, right? But did anybody ever teach me how to maintain a checkbook?
No.
Yeah. No. So I think that's fundamental problems right there.
Yeah, you're right.
But I guess you don't need that when you have a calculator that's in your cell phone.
Yeah, that's true.
Technology grows. At what point does it become a detriment?
Very big.
I watched Terminator 2 mines, dude. Skynet.
It's very big,
Trust that, man. Anytime a big Austrian dude is the main actor in your thing and starts destroying things, I can't handle it.
Breaks loose.
All right, little fourth wall broken. Kelsey is extremely pregnant to me to the left. So what I'm going to start doing as soon as we're going to start winding this down is I'm going to start stretching the show, hoping that the baby comes before the show ends. So that we have a live birth on there. And what's going to happen is when the baby comes out, I'm going to take one of the microphones. I'm going to go in there and be like, "Hey baby, how was it? Tell us the journey that one was."
That would be off the hook.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to work. I seen a movie called Look Who's Talking. I'm pretty sure babies have the voice of
Look Who's
Bruce
Talking.
Willis
That's
and
such a
Rosie
great.
O'Donnell. Roseanne.
You're like Boss Baby.
Boss Baby.
Boss Baby.
Boss Baby getting up part 2 2021. Oh.
Dude, Roseanne is coming back, man.
Yes.
That is going to be
right.
awesome.
So is Will and Grace.
Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't watched Roseanne. It's a 20-year-old show. Go fuck yourself. So here's the thing. Here's the truth. The canon has to start before Dan dies.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the show, she writes in her book in a very emotional scene, Dan had the heart attack. He died.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously John Goodman got to come back because otherwise I'm not watching it.
Oh no, he's in it. They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to address that little ditty right in the first episode. It goes without saying because they
Was
killed.
the heart attack the first episode?
Yeah.
No,
So
no. The last episode, they're gonna have to address it. But in the reunion, they're gonna have to address that
for the
because
first episode
Dan's
of the
in
reunion.
it.
But
Yeah.
it was the last
They're gonna-
episode. Didn't you remember? She's writing. He had a heart attack. This is how
Yeah.
our life would have been.
Yeah, the
The whole thing was based on the fact that he passed away before their life was that. We don't even know if the kids. Yes.
No, the episode is supposed the heart attack comes in one of the episodes midway through the series.
Yeah, when Darling gets married.
Yeah, so when he at that point of the series is when it splits off. And he dies in real life, and the rest of the series that we watch is her writing her book.
Right.
So when the series
Well,
comes
no.
back,
What's your? I 100% believe that they are not going to actually continue that story because
So he's alive?
Yes,
Okay.
John Goodman is a part of it. That's not going to happen without him. So no matter what, they're not going to go with that, and it's not going to be a prequel. They're going to essentially somehow manage to make that a story. The ending. They're going to make the ending, the series finale, a story because. That's a story that nobody wants to see because Dan is such a beloved character.
Yeah, that was a bullshit ending.
It's intense, man. That's one of the best, one of the funniest families ever, and for him to because he does have a heart attack, and that does happen in the episode, and he lives because DJ saves him in the next episode. But if that was all a dream, then son of a bitch.
Nice. Best.
Oh yes. Look at this.
yeah.
Currently the s'mores are coming out.
So
You're killing me, Smalls.
all right. So for anybody who we don't have cameras, so Carmelo and his father, also known as Lucas, come in here with the devil's look in their face, and now they have marshmallows, Hershey's milk chocolate bars, and graham crackers. Carmelo, what are you gonna go do right now?
I'm gonna make s'mores.
Yeah, how many are you gonna make? You gonna make yourself? Well, he just broke the chocolate, so the s'mores are done for the rest of the day. Thank you guys. That'll be the end of the podcast. All right, so we're already 17 minutes into part 2. Let's do some quick movie talk, and then we can wrap this up, Javi. We have the whole crew here.
The whole crew.
You excited for Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman? Yeah, man. I mean,
He's got a good rating on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
I really hope that it can put DC back on the map because they've gotten two, I don't want to say duds because there's a lot of good.
Okay, duds.
There's a lot of good in both of those movies, but yeah, that was the worst shit ever. I'm sorry, I was honestly disappointed majorly in the movie theater. One of the very few times I actually shook my head in complete disappointment. That movie was something else. So much good they could have done with it. I really wished I can somehow get my hands on every raw footage and edit it myself. I would love to edit that in Suicide Squad.
The director's cut of it?
It's
better.
I heard about it, but it's like...
better.
Yeah, I can imagine it being better just because of the way that...
It's still not great. It's still kind of...
Well, I feel like the way that they handled Doomsday, that's all I gotta say, was a disgrace to the character.
Even though they spoiled it in the preview.
I don't want to say it's the equivalent of Bane and Batman and Robin, but it's pretty close of how they embarrassed the character.
Ooh.
It looked nice and icing, but I feel like that Doomsday wasn't the true...
Why'd you have to bring up bat nipples?
What? that one's. I was just watching it the other night. And
You know why we like it, though?
What?
Because
Batman and Robin?
Batman and Robin. You know why we like it, though?
Oh, it's a remake of the 60s TV show.
Well, kind of, essentially, but also when it came out, we were 8 years old, so it was a perfect movie for us. We were kids.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can look back at it and kind of have fun at it, but imagine being our age now and Batman and Robin came out. We would lose our shit.
But what not a lot of people know about is the movie that was supposed to come after, and it was going to be the greatest movie ever, Batman Unchained. Do you know anything about that?
Well, there was Batman Unchained, there was Batman Year One, all these were production before Batman Begins.
No. This was going to literally be George Clooney and Chris O'Donnell, and it was going to redeem the entire Joel Schumacher trilogy.
And Joel Schumacher was still directing, I don't buy it.
But no, it was going to be awesome. Jay, have you heard? I swear to God, it was going to feature, because the Scarecrow, no matter what, was always, Warner Brothers always had the Scarecrow in the next Batman film. So no matter what, whether it was year one, no matter what, Scarecrow was going to pop up.
Yeah,
in the George Clooney sequel, it was going to be it was going to be more like Batman Forever. Joel Schumacher was so embarrassed, he really wanted to do it. I mean, Joel Schumacher hates it too. They only did... The studio essentially made Batman and Robin.
No, for
Joel
sure.
Schumacher directed
for anybody
it.
who doesn't understand the trouble with Batman and Robin is They also signed a deal with
the studio
Mattel,
rushed it.
And
Totally, before the toys were even made.
So the toys were made for the movie. That's why if you look at it, it's very.
What I'm saying was the next one was going to be anything but
fine.
that.
What may have been written down and what may have been rumored is great. My problem with it is Joel Schumacher was still directing it. As far as I'm concerned, he was already 0-2 for Batman movies. Because Batman Forever, say what you will, the only good part about Batman Forever is Val Kilmer. Because holy shit, I love this man, but Tommy Lee Jones was garbage, son, as Two-Face.
Go Superman.
Superman is garbage. Yeah! So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Superman. There's a recommendation for any superhero fans. There's 2 documentaries I want you to watch. Superheroes Decoded, the History Channel thing that they did, and this thing on Hulu called Batman and Bill. It's about how they finally got Bill Finger's name put on the credit because basically Bob Kane's a piece of shit, and he really tarnished the name of Batman after you watch Batman and Bill. So it's a must-watch. And also The Death of Superman Lives What Happened by Josh Knapp, a Chicago kid. Yeah, guys, I mean, we're already 20 minutes into, so we can start wrapping this up. It's going to be next summer when we do the next reunion show, probably maybe sooner, hopefully when you're back in town. But before let's do that, we're going to go around and just get people's thoughts about the summer. Kelsey, you have the baby coming.
I have the baby and no work coming.
Yeah. Do you guys have a name? Are you guys giving that out yet?
We do have a name.
You guys haven't given it out yet? Alright, so listen on for one of the shows that I'll do, one of the interviews in the future. I'll put the baby's name after it's come out and started crying. Let's see, what do you have? What do you have for the summer? So baby, no work. How long are you off work for?
No work. Hopefully till August. We'll see.
Yeah. Nice.
Just enjoying summer.
You excited?
Yes.
Yeah. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I bet you.
Bonfires all night. Yeah. Playing at the park.
Again, fourth wall broken. Before we started part 2, we took a shot of Lewis. What was it called? What we take a shot of?
Bulgarian brandy, homemade.
Bulgarian
that was
brandy.
Delicious.
It was really good. Kelsey's face looked like she wanted to murder each and every single one of us.
I want a martini so bad.
She wants a martini.
Shit.
It sounds absolutely amazing. Yeah. Summer goes.
Just the way she said it too.
Nicole Mancha, fresh off of a Harry Potter convention.
Yes.
Super happy about that.
Harry Potter.
We're gonna go see dinosaurs.
Dude,
We're
have you
gonna go
been
see
to Universal
dinosaurs.
Studios?
No, they had a con in a.
No, have you been to Universal Studios?
No, I want to go.
Oh
so
my
bad.
god, the one in
It's
Hollywood. Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited. I'm planning a trip with one of my best friends.
Butterbeer. I mean,
because
come
she's
on.
a Gryffindor and I'm a Slytherin, so we walk into a bar.
No, the whole Hogwarts the whole ride was eye opening.
Lord of the Rings was better. So
I never really seen it. Yeah.
So we don't got time to get into this arguments, guys. So Nicole, what do you got planned for the summer?
Just hanging out at the Mercado household.
We're gonna have to edit that out because as far as everybody who listens to us, I live in a skyrise on the north side, and so we're gonna edit that part out.
Skyrise
with Mowgli, the unofficial official mascot.
There you go.
But just enjoying the summer, writing, getting it all out.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
Carmelo.
We need some s'more sticks, guys.
S'mores are almost done. Lewis, when you get a chance and you're done burning stuff, can you come inside and we're gonna get your summer funness. Carmelo, school is almost over. You ready?
Yes.
So what are you gonna do during the summer?
Maybe ride my bike.
Ride your bike? Yeah? What else? You gonna swim?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you excited about
the baby?
The baby, yeah, you ready for you excited?
Yeah.
You're gonna be a big brother.
Yeah. What are you most excited about?
About
being a big brother. What's the most exciting part?
Playing with him.
Playing with him? That's really cool. Yeah. Alright, so here's the thing. Are you gonna start doing bad things and blaming it on the baby early? Yeah? Yeah? Are you gonna start writing on the wall?
Good answer.
Oh, no, he's looking at Kelsey.
Oh my gosh, this baby.
Me too.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Dad's the one we have to worry
The
about.
biggest baby.
Yeah. I didn't spill nothing.
Well, alright, since you're screaming through the window, Lewis, go ahead and tell the fine folks.
Yes.
What do you have planned for the summer other than waking up at 3 a.m. taking care of diapers?
Well, taking care of diapers, running around with Mello, definitely going on a bike ride.
That seems to be a theme of the summer, bike rides.
Yeah.
You want to buy?
We'll be in Bussy every day.
Yeah, if you guys want to buy matching Lance Armstrong
Please
Tour de
do.
France
I have to bleep.
Yes, yeah, no,
You know what?
Yeah, he is rompers. That's what he said, guys. Anyway, I'm gonna edit out and I'm gonna edit together that Lewis says I love rompers, so it's perfect.
Rompers.
All right, well,
All the way rompers.
yeah, you love him. Shut up. How, man?
What?
It's crazy, dude. I can't believe we got this. We got this in before you get playing on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be up hopefully before then. But
yeah, man, still there for another.
It's
couple
crazy,
days.
dude. It really is crazy if you listen back to past episodes, just how much has changed and just how it's grown, man. Just all of it, like everything.
The projects just kept getting bigger and bigger. I mean, I was doing sound movies when I was on the Oriole Galaxy, and then I did cartoons in between, and then now it's like I'm doing full on web series. I mean, you got Transplants, which is just flourishing. The episodes are growing. I've already got a cast of, I think it's almost like between 20 and 30 people at least, and it's fantastic because that's what I wanted. My goal for Transplants was to get a Simpsons-esque town of people, which is essentially Hollywood, and it dealt with a lot of people I've met in person, and a lot of people that I can essentially come up with as a novelist, and that's essentially the characters that make it up, so that's a really fun series, and it's all part of my art, and of course I get to add music, of course I still make music, and of course it just never has stopped, but yeah, I just go full force, whatever I do.
I think the most fun and what I've enjoyed the most out of this crazy adventure we've taken, man, is this how proud I am, man. It's just from when we started being so nervous to cracking the mics and not knowing how to hit a break and
those were some fun times.
Show, but like now, it just and it's crazy to think what the future is like, what next year's gonna be.
Oh man, yeah, jeez, man.
10 years is exciting.
The universe is a crazy thing, man. You just got to keep going forward. As long as we're still here, living and breathing, might as well just keep chucking forward. That's how I look at it. It's a miracle that we're all, here doing this. It's really fantastic, It's living a dream, really. No regrets. Just gotta take steps forward, whether you're scared or not. Leap of faith, and you'll be all right.
Some great words. I hope everybody who's listened to this, I hope you guys, I'm going to do my best to make sure the audio sounds good. This was actually more than anything, I hope you guys take something out of this and whatnot. But one of the main reasons I do this is I use this platform a lot to, get some good information, at least what I think is good information out there for the community with Outreach Radio Chicago, which you can like on Facebook and help us out there. But this was more for me and for, to have you and, to do it at our friend's house, that they just bought and like, to share with cool people.
It's a great house and a great neighborhood.
And I have no problem being selfish about it and be like, my board, my show, my iTunes account, I do it. Mine. And this I have no problem saying the show was for me, and I think I know how lucky I am that we got to do this. Yeah, I mean, I know I'm very, I can talk forever, but these are one of those rare moments where I definitely feel speechless because there's no way I could say how I feel when I do things like this, and it's such an amazing feeling. So, where can people find you, Jav?
You can find me at YouTube, Dreamtune Studios. You can find me on Facebook at both Dreamtune Studios and Transplants, The Life of an LA Screenwriter. And, of course, Instagram, Dreamtune Studio.
You guys know we're everywhere in the universe. You can follow me on Twitter at mmercado2333. If you want to see behind the studio stuff, like the picture we're about to take here in the amazing new Fortress of Solitude that I'm going to call it since Stupid Lewis is a stupid Superman fan. Yeah, Instagram Mike Mercado 2333. Carmelo actually thinks this is Oa because he's a Green Lantern fan. So for all you Lantern fans, this is Oa, home of the Guardians. Got you, bro. Instagram Mike Mercado 2333. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/Mike Mercado 2333. We're on iTunes, guys. Do us a huge favor, subscribe to us. It really means a lot of you review, rate, comment. It gets the traffic going and it gets us able to get the sponsors that are going to make this show better, make the audio sound better. Make sure we ensure we get better guests every single time you click on It's Mercado Airwaves on iTunes. And also on Patreon if you want to support the show, patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. There you can find ways you get the show first before anybody else and ad-free. So if you're at the gym and you don't want to hear anything from Bernie Sanders like they were doing before or any of the crazy Allstate insurance commercials,
find us on Patreon, download it there. Or if you know anybody who has a small business or has a business in general that they would like to sponsor and power our interviews, patreon.com, you can find a tier for us right there. And like us on Facebook, Mercado Airwaves, and Outreach Radio Chicago. Woo!
That's a mouthful.
Yes! That's how it's done, guys. The readings are over. Shut it down. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Mike, it's been a pleasure. Hey, man, I'm glad we can do this again.
I don't know if this should be yearly. Maybe this should just be every few months.
Just let me know. If I'm not in town, just give me a phone.
We could just do it over phone. Who would have thought? I'm over here with all this technology. We could just do it, over Skype or phone call. We'll do it. You're the best, Javi.
You too, brother. I'll see you next time I see you.
Let's get out of here.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
It's another day at the opera. I get to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones,
Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
and all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support.